Picture this. Ryan, a guy who's been texting Emma for weeks, maybe months. In the beginning, it was smooth. Conversations flowed like a good song. No awkward pauses, no waiting hours for a reply. She'd send emojis, laugh at his jokes, even initiate from time to time. There was a spark, or at least it seemed that way. But then things started to change. Her replies became shorter. Where she once replied within minutes, now it took hours. Some messages didn't get a response at all. The energy that felt mutual at the start began to fade, leaving Ryan wondering what went wrong. This is the point where many guys make a critical mistake. They push harder. They send more texts. Try to respark the energy with humor, compliments, or questions. But here's the irony. The more effort they put in to keep the connection alive, the faster it slips away. Why? Because constant pursuit tells her there's no challenge left, no mystery to uncover. She already knows you're there, ready, waiting. The value of your attention decreases the more available it becomes. When you suddenly stop texting, it's not just the absence of words, it's a disruption in her routine. If she's used to you being part of her daily rhythm, the silence stands out. It's like walking into your favorite cafe and noticing the barista who always knew your order isn't there. Something feels off, and you start to wonder why. Wondering is powerful. It creates curiosity. Curiosity creates emotional weight. The silence makes her question the story she's been telling herself about you. Did you lose interest? Did something happen? Are you giving your attention to someone else? That uncertainty flips the dynamic. Suddenly, she's the one thinking about you. Not because of what you said, but because of what you didn't say, asterisk, if you've made it clear how you feel, whether through words, consistent effort, or the way you've been prioritizing her, and she's not showing the same energy back. Continuing to text is like watering a plant that refuses to grow. You can't force interest. Every unanswered or half-hearted reply is a signal, and ignoring that signal only keeps you stuck in a dynamic where you're giving more than you're receiving. The reality is, when you're always the one reaching out, you're training her to expect your presence without earning it. There's no urgency on her side because there's no risk of losing you. Stopping your texts isn't about being manipulative. It's about creating balance. It's about removing yourself from a one-sided exchange where she holds all the power, whether she realizes it or not. Imagine a game of tug-of-war. If you're pulling and the other person isn't, you're not in a competition, you're just dragging rope across the ground. When you drop the rope, the game ends. And in that moment, she feels the shift. Here's the twist most men overlook. This step isn't just for her to notice your absence. It's for you. It's a reset button. Stepping back forces you to reevaluate why you're investing so heavily in someone who isn't matching you. It helps you reclaim your time, mental energy, and self-respect. You begin to realize that attention is a resource, and it's far too valuable to give endlessly to someone who isn't reciprocating. Sometimes, when you stop, she does notice and re-engages. Other times, she drifts away for good, and that's okay, because either way, you've broken the pattern of chasing. You've shifted the focus back to yourself, where it belongs. And that's the first real step toward attracting someone who values you equally. Asterisk when you go silent? Not every woman will react the same way. Some women are fueled by attention. It's part of how they navigate the world. They're used to receiving messages, compliments, validation on a daily basis. Not necessarily because they're deeply interested in every man who reaches out, but because the attention itself feels good. It's like background music in their life. They may not always pay close attention to the song, but they notice when it stops playing. For this type of woman, your consistent presence has been part of that background. When you suddenly stop texting, it's like the applause in a theater. Cutting off mid-scene, at first she might feel confused, then curiosity creeps in. She starts to wonder why you're not reaching out. And if she had even the slightest attraction for you, that curiosity can grow into renewed interest. But then, there's the other kind of woman. The one who doesn't seek unnecessary attention, even if she's attractive and could have it easily. If she's made it clear through her words or actions that she isn't interested, maybe she's ghosted you, politely friend-zoned you, or even told you directly, your silence won't trigger curiosity. Instead, it might feel like relief. It removes the pressure, the awkwardness, and the need to keep declining your advances. The important thing to understand is that silence benefits you in both scenarios. For the woman who thrives on attention, it disrupts her pattern and forces her to reconsider how she views you. For the woman who's not interested, it shows self-respect and the ability to walk away without bitterness. Either way, it preserves your dignity. And in the long run, dignity is far more attractive than endless pursuit. Walking away sounds simple in theory, but in reality, it can feel like tearing yourself away from a dream you've been living in. When you're deeply drawn to someone, it's not just about liking them in the present moment. You start building an entire story in your head about what could be. You imagine the dates, the laughs, the shared experiences, the way she'd fit into your future. You picture the two of you traveling together, introducing her to friends, maybe even building a life side by side. Those images feel real because you've invested so much emotion into them, but the truth is, they exist only in your mind. The danger is that this fantasy can blind you to what's actually happening. You're responding not to her current behavior, but to the version of her you've imagined. You ignore the fact that she's not texting back, not showing consistent interest, not making time for you. You keep chasing because you're not ready to let go of the idea. It's not just about her anymore. It's about protecting the dream you've built. The way out of this trap is to ground yourself in reality. Ask yourself, is she truly showing up for me in the present, or am I clinging to what I hope will happen in the future? Is her level of investment equal to mine? When you start to see things clearly, you realize that your energy is better spent on people and goals that reciprocate. Letting go doesn't mean you failed. It means you chose to. Stop feeding a story that wasn't being written by both of you. And once you reclaim that emotional energy, you'll find it easier to attract someone who actually lives up to the vision you had without having to force it. The key to keeping your self-respect intact, whether you're dating or in a long-term relationship, is to match her level of investment. This isn't about playing games. It's about maintaining balance. If she sends you 2 messages a day and you respond with 10, you create an imbalance that tips the dynamic in her favor. It signals that you value her more than she values you, and over time, that can erode attraction. People value what they have to earn, not what's handed to them without effort. Think of it like a tennis match. For the game to work, both players need to hit the ball back. If you're serving ball after ball without getting any returns, it's not a match. It's just you doing all the work. The same is true with emotional investment. When she's giving, give back. When she's pulling away, don't overcompensate. That space you create gives her the opportunity to step forward if she wants to. This principle applies even in long-term relationships. In the early days, the spark is easy to keep alive because everything is new. But over time, comfort can lead to complacency. You stop doing the small things that made the relationship exciting in the first place, and without realizing it, you take each other for granted. Maintaining the connection doesn't require constant grand gestures. It requires presence, respect, and the willingness to keep dating each other even years in. Sometimes, silence and space can be just as powerful as attention. It reminds both people not to take the other for granted. If she's not giving you the green light, don't waste time idling at a red one. Respect her pace, respect your worth, and keep moving forward towards someone who meets you halfway.